Welcome to RealScary, the home of true scary stories, where we bring you the very best in not only British ghost stories, but ghost stories from around the world. So if you are quite partial to a scary story of terrifying ghostly sightings, you're in the right place. And today's scary story is that of Ye Olde White Hart Public House. Ye Olde White Hart Public House is located at 25 Silver Street in Kingston Upon Hull, and which lies in the heart of Hull's old town. Its history goes back hundreds of years, and the present building was constructed all the way back in 1550 as a private residence in the artisan mannerist style. It became a public house in 1730 and has remained to be one to this very day. It has stood strong for centuries, and countless tales of love, war and betrayal have been told inside Ye Olde White Hart's oak panelled walls. Its ingle-nook fireplaces have absorbed the good and bad times of generations of revellers, plotters, shoppers, traders, diners and drinkers, and quite possibly even murderers. Kingston Upon Hull has a history stretching back over 700 years, and during this time the city has endured bombing during World War I and World War II, numerous floods, plague outbreaks, cholera, witchcraft, ghastly murders, sea serpents, satanic occult rituals, and even an earthquake. It is no stretch of the English language to state that Hull is no stranger to dark deeds and even darker history. One of Ye Olde White Hart's rooms is known as the plotting parlour, and it is said that on the 23rd of April 1642 the Governor of Hull, Mr. John Hotham, held a meeting there in which it was decided to close the gates of Hull to King Charles I. There was a large arsenal at Hull, and the UK Parliament had authorised Hotham to retain and hence deny the King access to. The King subsequently besieged Hull for 3 weeks, and this is considered to be the first major action of the English Civil War. This major event was named Town Talking Day and was celebrated in the city of Hull for many years afterwards. Now, a mysterious skull encapsulated in an old glass box can be seen in a small corner in the saloon bar, and there are competing theories about the origin of the skull, neither of which are pleasant. One story states that the skull is that of a young able seaman. A visible fracture mark on the skull suggests he died from a blow to the head, and many say this happened when a drunken sea captain, well doused in navy rum, struck the young able seaman with the butt of his pistol, instantly killing him, and that the boy's lifeless body was placed under the staircase and there remained undiscovered until after a fire which occurred during the 19th century. Others say the skull was found in the attic during the renovations of 1881, and that the skull belongs to a poor serving girl by the name of Bertha Wilkinson, who was killed by the landlord of the time as the result of a secret liaison that the landlord wanted to ensure remained secret by placing the body in the attic and sealing it up, where he believed it would never be found again. Now, as can be expected from such an old building steeped in so much history, it has suffered many tragedies over the years, and the locals claim the following. In April 1912, workers turned up for their shifts only to find that the pub was locked, and upon forcing entry, the pub's cellarman, a Mr. William Strutt, discovered that the landlady, Clara Seapelt, who was aged 38, dead at the bottom of the stairs. The coroner reported that Mary's dress had become entangled on the banister, which caused her to lose balance at the top of the stairs before tumbling down them and breaking her neck. Another case occurred in April 1806, and that resulted in the tragic death of a young girl by the name of Fanny Clarkson, who was the daughter of the landlord, Mr. John Clarkson. Fanny had been tasked with lighting the fire in the main bar, but when she went to light it, the flames caught her clothing, which quickly consumed her, sadly resulting in her death. Now, substantial ghost activity has been reported at the pub by both staff and customers, some of which are very unsettling. The locals state the following regarding the ghostly sightings at the pub. It's not a case of if you see something, but when. Now, during a clairvoyant event in 1974, a woman claimed to see the image of a 17th century soldier appearing much like Guy Fawkes. One member of the bar staff reported the following. When I first started working here, something came in and ran upstairs. I chased after them because you're not allowed up there. I went all the way up to the attic, checked every room, looked in every cupboard, and there was no one whatsoever. 2 days later, the cleaner reported the following. I saw a man running upstairs, and I heard him too. Those stairs are creaky and you don't miss someone using them. Again, after a thorough search, nothing. No one was found. A white lady has been reported aimlessly going up and down the staircase as if somehow lost. This manifestation may have been triggered by the fall and subsequent death of Miss Clara Seapelt in 1912. We will never know. There is also reports of a young woman dressed in Victorian clothing that suddenly appears from the corner of the room and starts erratically running towards the plotting room, and then suddenly disappears as quickly as she appeared. Other sightings include that of a young man in a white shirt with a frilled collar, a woman in black Victorian dress appearing in the guest bedroom, and on one occasion a terrified customer reported a woman in black dressed in Victorian clothing walked straight through her. There is also many reports of a tall man in a black cloak wearing a gold-coloured mask sat at the table in the plotting room laughing out loud. It is beyond doubt that ye Old White Hart public house, considering its vast, varied and very dark history, could be a hotspot for paranormal activity. And it makes me think, if those old oak panelled walls could only talk, I'm sure they could tell us the most amazing of stories. Maybe they could even give us the answer as to what the tall man in the black coat sat in the plotting room is actually laughing at. So, if you fancy a drink in Hull's most haunted pub, make your way down to Ye Old White Hart. Just make sure you order the right kind of spirit. Oh, and keep an eye on those stairs. I hope you enjoyed our latest edition in Scary Stories, and if you did, I would appreciate it if you would like, share and subscribe. And until next time, be safe and sweet dreams.